Hi, my name is Eric Eberhardt, and I work with the Seneca Conservation District. And today we want to show you some simple tricks and tips to scout for armyworms and decide whether or not you might need to treat for them. So we're going to show you some simple signs that they might be in your field. We'll show you the actual armyworms themselves, and we'll show you how to do a foot by foot count to determine how many you have in your field and whether or not treatment is necessary. You want to check multiple points in the field. You don't have to check the whole field, but definitely look at the hot spots where the birds would be dive bombing. Here, we're simply going to pull back the wheat, and you'll observe the feeding on the leaves, and as well as looking for the worms themselves on the ground. They'll usually roll up and hide from us, and then as well as being able to find their droppings. That's pretty indicative as far as the population. You can see when you pull your wheat back that you have an armyworm right here curled up on the ground. He's trying to hide from us. And then all these little black dots are droppings from the armyworm themselves. A lot of times you can't find the armyworms during the day because they like to hide in the crop residue, and they don't really hide underground, but some cloudy days they'll be up on the stems themselves. Here you can see leaf feeding from the armyworms. You notice the jagged serrated big giant bite marks out of the leaves as they chew their way up. Defoliation of the wheat plant typically isn't bad for a big yield loss for wheat until once you're after the 11.3 feet stage on wheat, and that'd be about dough or starch stage. If you have complete defoliation of the plant, that's when you really start having severe yield losses, because they'll start to clip the heads and eat the stem of the wheat, and then it'll be almost 100% yield loss. So here we're going to do our number count. You want a 1 by 1 foot square measuring tool. So we'll do some counts here in a field of barley. Typically counts range from 3 to 5, and that you might be able to get away with not treating a field like that, depending on the stand. Thicker stands of wheat can handle higher populations of worms without being losing the head getting clipped off. But a thinner stand fields, you might have to treat with lower numbers. So we just put this on the ground simply. And then we start pulling back the residue, and we look for the worms and their droppings. So I do have a little bit of droppings, but I don't see any worms themselves, which is a good sign. So we saw the birds dive bombing the wheat, going after the worms. We saw the worms themselves hiding on the ground and the feeding that they did to the plants. We saw their droppings on the ground when you can't find the worms themselves when they're hiding. We did our stand count, and remember, moderately thick stands, anywhere from 5 to 8 worms in a square foot, might need to consider treatment options. At the same end, we don't just want to spray willy-nilly, because there's a lot of beneficial insects out here, and beneficial arachnids and spiders and that will help us in this fight against the armyworm. So if you need any help scouting or have any questions at all, my contact info is on the bottom of the screen here. So don't hesitate to call or reach out to us in our office, and either myself or someone else from our team will come out and assist you. We got worms! Is that on?